The eastern shore of Maryland, it all shares the same kind of challenges out there. They're all rural, very distant, a lot of people that are pretty isolated out there.
That includes Smith Island, 10 miles west of Crisfield on the eastern shore and home to just 200 people, many older and homebound. When anyone there needs a prescription, it must be ferried over. Right now, a delivery comes just once a day, weather permitting.
There was a patient out there on the island, ran out of their insulin, couldn't run a boat to get insulin, ended up taking a state police helicopter that needed to bring that insulin out to the island. That's a pretty major mobilization. That's a pretty expensive way to deliver a prescription.
That inspired retired Navy pilot John Slaughter to pursue a medical drop pilot program, now ready to launch thanks to a $1.75 million U.S. Department of Transportation grant. As director of the University of Maryland's Uncrewed Aircraft Systems Research and Operations Center, or UROC, his team of engineers and FAA-certified pilots build and test drone technology. The new program will work to speed up medical shipments to and from remote communities.
I was immediately just thrilled to be able to be a part of it and help it grow because I think it's the future.
Slaughter is recruiting the expertise of Dr. Rosalind McCoy and the university's Institute for Health Computing. An endocrinologist, McCoy treats patients and leads research into healthcare delivery. McCoy believes drones can address a gap in care, often found in rural areas. She envisions drones as a safer, faster, cheaper, more reliable alternative that can help save lives.
In a place like Smith Island, where it's hard to restock, especially in the wintertime, I think having a drone be able to deliver those supplies can keep my patients alive, even if something does go wrong.
Slaughter says his pilot program is just the beginning. He'd like to see the drone mission scaled up to a regional system, and he's far from alone in that aspiration.
It struck me that there's got to be a better way to do this.
In 2019, Dr. Joe Scalea ran a busy University of Maryland organ transplant program. He wanted to streamline organ delivery and through UROC made history, teaming up with University of Maryland Medical Center to successfully transport a kidney donation by drone for the first time.
All right, aircraft has successfully landed.
Temperature's appropriate, organ doesn't appear to be injured at all. Looks like a perfectly transplantable organ.
The then 44-year-old recipient from Baltimore. Though now at a different institution, Dr. Scalea is still focused on the work he began in Maryland.
After doing the first one in Baltimore in 2019, we are here to continue that study.
Technologies like the ones that we're working on here are not just a nice to have, they are a necessity if we're going to grow and expand the transplant network that we have in the United States, which is already wonderful, but can be so much more.
There are some obstacles before drone deliveries can really take off. Currently, an FAA rule requires pilots to keep drones in their line of sight, limiting how far they can go. That could soon change, leading to what Slaughter calls an aviation revolution.
This isn't just about people on isolated islands. So there are a lot of people that are isolated in their homes. And that happens in cities and rural areas alike.
Right now, research for the pilot program is underway. Then the build and months of testing before a drone can begin flying medical supplies across the water into Smith Island. Slaughter says that work, along with the state's newly formed Advanced Air Mobility Council, which he's on, will soon propel the use of drones in Maryland to new heights.
When this technology arrives and is knocking on the door of Maryland or is enticed to come to Maryland, we'll be ready for it.
Ultimately, he hopes to one day see the Chesapeake Bay transform into a drone delivery hub that transcends healthcare. I'm Tommy Clark, WBAL TV 11 News.